Do you feel stuck or maybe numb? Do you feel like maybe there's something in your approach to life, something that you do consistently that you really don't like, that frustrates you? In this course today, we're going to talk about how to help you see why you're stuck, which is the first step towards actually getting unstuck. And at the end of this course, I'm going to guide you to another course that will help you actually take the steps to get unstuck once you can see it. What's your favorite sport or athlete? Professional football is my favorite sport, American football, for those of you outside the US. But let's talk for a minute about the GOAT, the greatest of all time for the NFL, Tom Brady. It's hard to imagine someone who would be better than Tom Brady, that could score more touchdowns than him, win more Super Bowls. Or we could talk about the GOAT of the Olympics or of swimming, Michael Phelps. He has won more gold medals than any other human. And the reality is that these two guys are quite possibly the best that we'll ever see in their sports. But for Tom Brady and Michael Phelps, they both were stuck. They both felt this feeling of being stuck or not having peace. Tom Brady famously, after his third Super Bowl, said, "There's got to be more to it than this. I still feel like there's something missing." And Michael Phelps, after winning more golds than anyone else in history, was suicidal and said he had no value or self-worth. These guys, for all of their success, were still stuck. Your life is full of story, or at least story potential. Being able to see yourself as a character in your own story will give you an interesting perspective on your life. It can help you see what you're currently missing. So let's talk about what makes a good story. Tension and resolution. At the beginning of a good story, we have this buildup of tension. What's going to happen? The resolution is what we see as a result of that story. Either they won the championship or they lost it. Either they got the girl or they didn't. Either they passed the class or they didn't. For Michael Phelps, it was, can I make it to the Olympics? For Tom Brady, it was, can I become a professional football player, a starter in the NFL? And as they got further into their careers, the tension continued to move. Can I win a gold medal? Can I win multiple gold medals? For Tom Brady, can I win a Super Bowl? Can I win multiple Super Bowls? Sports makes this really clear. Make the team, win the game, be the MVP. But for us, it could be money, it could be grades, it could be status. This is all what I like to call external tension, and it's a key part of any good story. In this course, we're going to actually walk through your story and help you see the story that you are currently living in. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and print off the guide where you can follow along and answer these questions for yourself. Think about what's happening in your life. What's currently unresolved? Let's start with some of the bigger things that you're thinking. Answer the question, what is the external tension I am facing right now? Take a second, write down your answer. Now, ask yourself this. What would resolution to that tension look like? If your tension is, can I make the sports team? Then resolution would look like, I made the sports team. Underneath that external tension is internal tension. This is why the external tension means something to you. It's the tension that's going on inside of us, in our hearts. Why do you want to win? Why does this external tension matter? This is called internal tension. Michael Phelps has said that he felt that he wasn't enough, that he didn't feel worthy. For a while, he may have thought that winning gold medals would fix this. But even after reaching his goals and resolving his external tension, he still didn't see a resolution to his internal tension. He's quoted as saying, I could win 1,000 gold medals and I would still be the same insecure, angry, and frustrated person. So now ask yourself, if those external tensions were resolved, how do you think you would feel? Write down your answer. And secondly, what do you feel right now instead? Write that down. Now let's take these two feelings and put them into a sentence. I want to feel, but instead I feel. This is your internal tension. It's what's going on beneath the surface. So there are 3 ways that we can attempt to address the internal tension in our lives. The first is external alignment, trophies, as I like to call it. And this is accomplishing things, doing things, making things happen in our circumstances. This could be getting someone to like you. This could be accomplishing something, making a certain amount of money. And the idea is that we believe when we're taking this method that if we get our external world to align correctly, we'll resolve our internal tension. And this is what Tom Brady and Michael Phelps did, at least in part. You will never get unstuck, resolve your internal tension by attempting to align your external world. The second approach is called embraced misalignment. This approach basically says there's nothing wrong. I'm going to act like this thing that I feel inside of me is not a big deal. We oftentimes find that in the discomfort of feeling like we're not enough or feeling like we're insecure, it's easier to just say, I'm good. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to feel that feeling. I'm not going to embrace that. And we kind of turn something off inside of us. This might make you feel numb. And the third approach to internal tension is internal alignment. And this is aligning what's going on inside of you, the way that you think, from believing a lie to believing truth, shifting from your current mindset to a different mindset. And this is the only way to actually resolve internal tension. The next question is, what actions are you taking to address this internal tension? Write that down. Take a second and think about whether or not you are using the external alignment, the embraced misalignment, or the internal alignment as an approach to resolve your internal tension. Now ask yourself, is it working? Take a second and reflect on whether or not this is actually resolving your internal tension. And next, ask yourself, what is this costing me? Write down the toll that this lack of resolution and the current wrong solution is taking on you. Now we're going to take a second and ask God what He has to say about your internal tension, and listen in your head and your thoughts and see if He answers with a quiet phrase. God, what is your perspective on my internal tension? Wait quietly. Whatever you sense, write it down. Now we're going to ask God another question. God, what is this tension producing in me that you want to change? Write down whatever comes to mind. You just named the real internal tension in your story, and you saw your external tension, maybe for the first time, with greater clarity. This is a huge step. Let's take the answer to these questions and fill in your story outline. The only way you can resolve your internal tension is by changing the way you think or having internal alignment. And in order to do that, you first need to see where you're out of alignment, and then you need to figure out, what is my belief? What is my way of thinking that's causing this misalignment? This tension or misalignment is caused by you believing a lie. And the next step for you to get unstuck is to actually identify what that lie is and replace it with the truth. This first comes with a realization of what the lie is and the truth is, and then after that, it comes with shifting your thinking to align with the truth instead of with the lie. The next step in your journey, now that you have clarity on your internal tension, is to do a course that changed my life. This course is called Freedom for the Willing. The truth is that only Jesus can set you free. Only Jesus can resolve the internal tension in your story. And He wants to speak to you, showing you what the lie is, showing you what the truth is. In this process, we're really just taking time to listen to Him, asking Him clear, specific questions that help us see and understand why we've been stuck. I suggest as you take this course that you consider finding a mentor, a parent, or a friend to go through this course with you. This makes the whole process a lot easier. Click the link below to go check out that course called Freedom for the Willing, and thank you for watching.